I want you to think about the last time you bought something you didn't actually need. Maybe it was a subscription to a software tool that promised to organize a life you hadn't even started living yet. You didn't buy that product because of the technical specifications. You didn't buy it because of a banner ad. You bought it because of a story you told yourself about who you would become once you owned it. Most founders view marketing as a dirty word. They think it's about manipulation, loud colors, and tricking people into clicking buttons. They treat it like a department they can outsource to a 22-year-old with a TikTok account. But the truth is, marketing is the heartbeat of your business. If your product is the engine, marketing is the fuel, the steering wheel, and the road itself. I've spent the last decade obsessed with the psychology of why we say yes, and I've realized that the greatest marketing minds in history weren't salesmen, they were anthropologists. They understood the human soul better than the people they were selling to. Today, I'm going to walk you through the core philosophies from 7 specific books that will completely dismantle everything you think you know about growth. These aren't just about selling stuff, they're about changing how you view human behavior forever. The first philosophy is about the death of the average. For decades, businesses were taught to build products for the middle of the bell curve. They wanted to offend the fewest people possible so they could sell to the most people possible. But in 2026, the middle is a graveyard. If you are pretty good and reasonably priced, you're invisible. The first major shift in your thinking needs to be this: being safe is risky. I remember a small company that made high-end outdoor gear. They were struggling because they were trying to compete with big-box retailers on price. They were boring. Then they decided to do something remarkable. They stopped making gear for hikers and started making gear specifically for people who trek across Antarctica. It was niche, it was weird, and it was expensive. Suddenly, people who had never even seen snow were buying their jackets. Why? Because the product was so extreme, it became a conversation piece. If your marketing doesn't force people to make a choice, to either love you or ignore you, then you aren't marketing, you're just making noise. You have to have the courage to be too much for some people, so you can be everything to others. The second philosophy is the hero's journey. Most businesses think they're the hero of the story. But here's the reality. Your customer doesn't care about your story. They are already the hero of their own story, and they're currently facing a villain, a problem keeping them from the life they want. If you show up trying to be the hero, you're just competing with them. To win, you have to show up as the guide. You are the person who hands the hero the map and the weapon they need to defeat their villain. I saw this with a SaaS founder selling a complex project management tool. His website was full of our AI-driven architecture and our proprietary cloud systems. We changed his entire message to focus on the customer's villain, the 6 p.m. anxiety, the fear that you missed something important and can't enjoy dinner with your family. Suddenly, he wasn't selling software, he was selling peace of mind. When you stop talking about yourself and start talking about the customer's transformation, you don't have to sell anymore. You just show them the way home. The third philosophy is the invisible power of status. Every decision a human being makes is filtered through a single subconscious question. Will this move me up or down in the social hierarchy? Think about the difference between a high-end gym and a local community center. They both have treadmills, they both have weights, but one charges $500 a month because it signals to the world and to yourself that you are part of an elite group. You're not paying for the equipment, you're paying for the internal status of being a high performer. If your marketing doesn't tell the customer what their purchase says about them, you're leaving growth to chance. You need to understand the tribes your customers belong to. People like us do things like this. When you align your product with a person's identity, price becomes irrelevant. You're not a vendor, you're a badge of honor. If you're sitting there right now feeling like your business is stuck in that average graveyard, if you're working 14 hours a day but your message just isn't landing, we need to talk about your systems. Most founders are so busy doing marketing that they never find the time to design it. If you want to start fixing your business today and get your head above the noise, you should download our free checklist. It takes about 15 minutes to go through, and it's designed to help you reclaim 10 or more hours of your week by showing you exactly which busy work tasks are killing your growth. It's the first step towards moving from the firefighter to the architect. You can find the link in the description below. The fourth philosophy is positioning. Marketing is not a battle of products, it's a battle of perceptions. The mind is a crowded room, and most of the chairs are already taken. I remember a small car company that knew they couldn't compete with the big and powerful American cars. Instead of trying to be better, they decided to be the opposite. They created a campaign to think small. They leaned into their weakness until it became a strength. They created a new category where they were the only player. If you can't be the first in your category, you have to create a new category where you can be first. Don't try to be better than the leader. Be the uncola. When you own a specific word in the mind of your prospect, you own the market. The fifth philosophy is the viral trigger. Everyone wants their marketing to go viral, but most think viral is just luck. It isn't. It's a science of emotional triggers. People don't share things that are merely good. They share things that make them look good or things that trigger high arousal emotions like awe or anxiety. More importantly, they share things triggered by their environment. I knew a small snack company that struggled until they realized they needed a hook into the customer's daily life. They associated their product with the 3 p.m. slump. Every time the clock hit 3 p.m. and people felt tired, they thought of that specific snack. They didn't need $1 million ad budget. They just needed to own a specific moment in time. If your marketing doesn't have a trigger, something in the real world that reminds the customer you exist, you will be forgotten the moment they close their browser. You need to find the coffee to your donut. The sixth philosophy is the law of reciprocity. We are biologically wired to want to pay back a favor. If I give you something of immense value for free, you will feel a psychological itch to give me something back. Most marketing is ask, ask, ask. Buy my product, sign up for my list, follow my page. But the most effective marketing is give, 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 then ask. I saw a consultant who was struggling to get high-ticket clients. He stopped running ads and started sending a personalized 10-minute video audit to his dream clients, showing them exactly how to fix their biggest problem. He gave away his best advice for free, with no strings attached. 8 out of 10 people he sent those to ended up hiring him for 5-figure retainers. He wasn't selling, he was creating an imbalance of value that the customer felt compelled to fix. When you lead with value, you remove the friction of the sale. You move from being a predator to being a partner. The seventh philosophy is the long game of category design. True marketing isn't about capturing a share of an existing market. It's about creating a market that didn't exist before and then dominating it. Think about the companies that didn't just build a better product, but changed the way we live. They didn't sell transportation, they sold the freedom of the open road. They didn't sell computers, they sold tools for the creative mind. When you design a category, you set the rules. You define what good looks like. This requires you to stop looking at your competitors and start looking at the missing piece in the world. What is the problem that people don't even know they have yet? When you name that problem and offer the only solution, you're not just a business, you're a movement. Marketing is the bridge between a person's current reality and their desired future. It's not about the click, it's about the connection. If you focus on being remarkable, guiding the hero, understanding status, positioning for an empty chair, creating triggers, leading with value, and designing your category, you won't just grow your business, you'll build an organization that people feel lucky to join. You'll stop chasing customers and start attracting a tribe. The greatest trick the world played on founders was making them believe marketing is something you do to people. It's actually something you do for people. It's the act of helping them find what they've been looking for. Are you ready for the complete self-running business system? We've created the best business course on the market because we want to show you exactly how we build businesses that run without us. We show you the architecture of freedom, moving from a busy operator to a strategic founder.
Sign up 100% free, no credit card required, and get instant access to the full course intro right now. The link is in the description and the next video. Tomorrow morning, don't look at your business through the lens of your product. Look at it through the lens of your customer's soul. Ask yourself, what story am I helping them tell? If you don't like the answer, rewrite the script. Your marketing is the only thing that lives in the gap between your vision and the world. Make sure it's a bridge worth crossing, and I'll see you again in the next one.